everybody. Welcome to Chit Chat Chop, episode number 70? 70. All right, welcome. We have Tina Capalbo. Capalbo. Did I say it right?
You know what? I have this thing to show everybody, and it is Capalbo.
Capalbo.
You'll never
so many
forget.
times. Never forget it. Anyway, thanks for joining us, Tina, from Lift Communications. We are, this is sort of an on-the-fly, super fun Chit Chat Chop tonight because I literally came in the door about half an hour ago. We had a busy day here at Kitchen Door, so we are going to cook what I like to eat when I get home late at night, and I got 15 minutes on the stove to make a delicious pasta.
Let's do it.
We're raiding the fridge today. That's how it works, and this is how it's super applicable at home. Cook along with us if you want. Nobody's going to do that, but that's all good. Yeah.
So when I saw you setting this up, I was thinking, this is what I do at home. But then you started to roll out like the chefy ingredients.
Well, I don't know if everybody has a little deli cup full of bacon fat they just keep hanging around. I do. It's, the stash. You got to have a stash of some kind in the kitchen. But yeah, I'll just show everybody at home what we're going to be working with today. We got about 2 slices worth of bacon that have just been crumbled up. We got 3 cloves of garlic. We got that bacon fat we were talking about. Butter. We're not going to use all the butter. Don't worry, Mom. I don't eat that much butter all the time. 6 sun-dried tomatoes, and not the freshest kale, but it's going to be perfect in this pasta. And of course,
awesome.
Parmesan cheese. Get a little rind of that in the fridge.
Yeah, but how do you say that in, the chefy Italian way?
All right, you ready for this? Parmigiano Reggiano.
Perfect.
I'm trying. I don't know. You're the one with the Italian heritage. I got Irish and Welsh on my back.
Yeah,
so
no, you did that perfectly.
Okay, cool.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's gonna be great. But I think first things first, before we get into the royal grilling that I've been promised here today.
Oh, good Lord. So I don't actually grill people, but knife.
I guess I grill people more. Yeah. It's part of Chit Chat Chop. You might get
You're
chopped
the
if you're too
griller.
close today.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you are the griller, but today
Yeah.
we're boiling.
We are boiling, and then it's a
Spaghetti.
one-pot pasta. So we're gonna boil it, and then I'm gonna show everybody why you don't throw all that pasta water away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I've got just some nice spaghetti here, as they say in Italy, spaghetti. And I'm going to use about half a pack here because I like a lot of pasta and I got to share with a friend. So
Okay.
this is good stuff.
So if we're measuring this out for our kids, I mean,
Yes.
we all know kind of how to do this, but how do you approximate for certain numbers of people? My mom used to go like, take this much for the family of 4.
Yeah,
sort of
I
thing.
usually, this is 454 grams.
Right.
Like for a main course, people often say up to 100 grams of dry pasta per person would be a good main course. So I'd say this box would feed 4 with leftovers.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course it all depends on what's going in your pasta too. Sometimes you just want that cheese and butter and noodle. You might eat a little bit more pasta than you would otherwise, but we're going to cut it into some vegetables and everything tonight to make it
Awesome.
nice and good. So this is a nice spaghetti, but I don't know if people at home maybe can't see this, but I just want to show you. See this rough texture on the
I
outside?
do, yeah.
This is the one thing I look for in store-bought pastas that's really great, is this rough texture right here, and that's where it was pushed through the dye at the pasta factory, and it's actually got a little roughness on the outside, which helps this little thin sauces adhere and cling to the outside. So some pastas you can buy at the store have this, some don't. So if you look at it, it's a little bit powdery, a little bit rough looking on the outside. That is the good spaghetti, in my opinion.
So, Chef Andrew, this is kind of Kitchen Door, Chit Chat Chop, and this is kind of how it's made, too, right?
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
like, look for that. So what do I do? Do I literally look through this little
Yep, that's
window in the box?
the window is your preview. That's everything right there.
Okay.
Yeah, the Italian market's got some really good ones. A little pricey. I got this one at a local grocery store, which you may have seen the box for already, but I'm not going to give them the free plug.
Okay.
They make a good pasta.
Yeah.
But hopefully this is on camera, I want to show everybody how to put your pasta in the pot
Camera
without it
is
all
coming.
clumping together.
Yeah.
All right, so you grab it this is 2 portions.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is take your other hand, twist it,
Oh.
drop it in the pot, and then it all fans out like that. So when it gets super hot and collapses and goes right down into the pot, it's not going to sit on top of each other. So it's kind of perfect.
I have never seen that before.
That is a Jamie Oliver tip. And I stole it years ago, and it is fantastic, so I keep using it.
I'm totally stealing that too.
Nice. And one thing our viewers at home didn't see either is I heavily salted this water. So when you, brave like me, you stick your finger right in,
Yeah.
tastes just slightly less salty than the Atlantic Ocean. Just
and
a little
that's
bit
really
less.
important, isn't it?
Super important
Yeah.
because if you think about it, the pasta has no salt in it whatsoever, and it's the bulk of your dish. So you want to make sure you get some seasoning in there because that's the whole dish right there.
Yeah.
Adam, what's going on?
Mia, our lovely Mia from Colorado, says
Hey, Mia.
hello.
Hey,
What's going on?
And we actually have a question.
Woo!
Before you even ask the question, we have someone that, Charlotte from Moncton, she said, my question is, why do you want to join the Kitchen Door team and not just go to another restaurant, catering versus a restaurant kitchen? Like, why is Kitchen Door so much better than others?
Well, we like to. The thing that hooked me first is sort of the description. We're not just a catering company. We're an innovative food company, and that sort of spectrum attracted me in the first place. It was like, okay, like they do cooking classes, they do events, they do, you can go to somebody's house and cook a super fine 5-course dinner, like whatever they want. But it's having that sort of flexibility really attracted me to this whole Kitchen Door specifically, and like Patty's vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patty is kind of an amazing and unexpected person to meet.
Yeah.
So
What is that?
since
Tour de
she's-
force.
since
She's a
she's-
tour de
What is
force.
that expected? What does that mean? Explain.
You get a sense of her from watching her on Chit Chat Chop.
Yep.
But when you meet her in real life, she's just like absolutely that times 10.
Yep.
And like you feel like she's just got your back and she's so real, and it must be great to work with her.
Yeah, it's pretty
So-
cool.
Yeah. So when did you first meet her?
I met Patty. It was, I think it was in Saltscapes. It was at Saltscapes. Back. It was almost a year ago. I met her. And I've heard buzz about the legendary Patty Howard. Like I'm friends with Kilted Chef and Bosse, and he was telling me about all the great things they were doing at Kitchen Door. And you should really check them out, see what they're up to. And I was at a transition point in my career. I was like, do I want to be, behind the line for the rest of the foreseeable future? Do I really want to sweat through my clothing every night? I'm not saying I don't do that now, especially tonight. But yeah, it's just another, it's another facet of the industry, another area I hadn't really fully explored, and totally untapped potential, especially around here. There's so much we can do.
So are you doing things now, working here, that you weren't doing a year ago?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot more. Well, like before my previous job as a chef, I wasn't on the line every night necessarily, but I was doing prep. I was, on the line. I was doing schedules, like all, placing orders. I don't necessarily place a whole lot of orders here. I don't do the schedule. I've, if anything, I've been freed up a little bit creatively to sort of help develop, our different menu items here, like, our retail space, which is opening up in not very long, is going to have a lot of new options that Patty and I have been working on. So it's creativity in a different way, and also trying to translate your vision, get other people to see what you're talking about and translate your vision. So make sure everything is consistent and carries on as it should.
So cool. So, all right, right now we're boiling that textured Durham semolina spaghetti. Spaghetti. And we have these amazing ingredients that you showed us.
So we should probably get prepping these a little bit.
Let's do that.
Well, why don't we need a decent amount of Parmesan cheese? So why don't you take that to the grater and probably take it down to about there.
Okie doke.
Yeah.
Big grating?
Yeah, so why don't you come right over on here so we get you on camera.
Sure.
Adam's going for the tight
boy.
shots tonight.
Oh boy.
Get used to the new studio.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys could actually see where we were in the studio, we're actually, not where I'm traditionally going to be standing. It's a very clever setup.
And the other side, and if anyone happens to see the other sign, supposed to be another sign on the side.
Oh, yes.
There's no sign.
Oh, it's right over there on the table, I think.
No, that's.
Oh, that's not it.
Here, look at this.
Oh.
I don't know what's going on.
So, come on over here. We got our Parmesan cheese all ready to go. Well, why
Through
don't...
the magic of television.
Through the magic of television. Well, I got you a bouquet.
Oh, it's very limp.
Exactly. So we don't want to use this for a salad. I already rinsed it off, but it's aptly limped. It's limp. So if you want to take care, I'll give you this part of the bouquet, and we want to strip the kale.
Okay.
So it
boy.
sounds a little racy, but
Okay.
nothing to it.
That's all right. I'll watch you. You
So
first.
the idea is you want to grab it by the base here, and
Yeah.
then just sort of pull your fingers up
Okay.
along,
Yeah.
leaving that.
That
that stalk
I
right
think
in the
I
middle.
took part of the. Oops.
Oh.
Wait.
There we go. It doesn't
Second.
have to be perfect. This is just a quick dinner after work, right? So,
Right.
and
So
then we'll
how
all
big
cook
should
up.
these be? Like, should it be?
Well, we're gonna hit it with the knife afterwards
Okay.
as well. So, basically,
So just
really,
go for it.
just go for it. There are no rules. See, I even busted it right off the top, but that's fine. Just sort of pinch it off.
So this is kind of like pull stuff out of your fridge and make spaghetti.
Exactly, which is
so what other
3 nights a week for me, honestly.
Well, for us too, right?
Yeah.
So what other kinds of things are you looking to pull out of the fridge that work really well?
Well, one thing, I think we're on about Plan C right now for what I was planning to do tonight. So Plan A involved peas and ham and a few other things. So we're going to go down that route.
Yeah. But we have bacon instead.
But we have bacon instead. Wow, what a disappointment.
I know.
I think that's actually an upgrade from ham. Yeah, tragic.
I'm okay with the bacon switch.
Oh, good. So I'm just going to check out the pasta here. Oh, good. I can already tell that we're very close, just from the dangle.
Okay, chef, do you do that thing where you throw the noodle at the wall, or does Patty frown on that?
That hasn't been, that's not the tried, tested, and true technique.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
But I'm glad you asked, because I will show you what I look for specifically.
Okay.
So let's see, I'll take this out. I can tell already it's just not hanging perfectly. It's not
limp enough, right?
It's not flaccid enough. So what I want to do right here
is the comments dying right now.
Oh my God. So I don't know if you can see right in the middle here. This won't get on camera, but right dead center in the noodle, there's a little bit of raw flour. So I usually take a bit out of the pot, give it a bite, and there's a little tiny circle of raw flour in there. That means we're about 2 minutes away.
So for people who are a little bit visually challenged in their old age, like myself, and we can't see the raw flour, you just have to kind of judge by how limp it is,
There's
right?
a crunch to it, basically. And you want it to be al dente, but you don't want to take it over either.
Yeah.
You know, usually the package instructions are right on. What you want to make sure is that your water stays boiling rapidly while your pasta's in there, so you don't want to, lose the temp too much.
Okay.
Great. So we got this on the go. Would you like to chop?
Sure.
All right. So we got this big mess of kale here. How are we going to wrangle it? We're going to roll it up like, this is a technique called chiffonade. Okay. So we do this with basil, I do this with other herbs, and basically here, I'll show you the first one or two.
That would be good.
So make sure you tuck your fingertips in,
Okay.
but then you're holding down the pile of kale that we just sort of rolled together here.
Okay.
And I'm just slowly walking my fingers back and cutting down through it. So
all right.
Let's give it a shot.
Let's do that.
Let's give it a shot. And I'm going to show you, the folks at home, the other way I test pasta. We're about a minute out now. Look at that. If I can tell, there's a little crunch there still.
Wow, so how do you know how much more time you need? Don't you love the sound of that chopping?
The chopping is really
Do you go this way too, or is that just me being
You could, but I kind of want, well, I'm glad you asked, because we're using spaghetti, I kind of want to use shapes that mimic the spaghetti. So, if you get a long noodle, you get like a longer piece of kale, or you get a longer piece of sun-dried tomato. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm going to use these sun-dried tomatoes really quick because they're a little bit leathery right now because we just got them out of the package.
So you're not doing these ones long, though. You want smaller pieces.
Well, I'm doing I'm still going to do a single cut. This is just I guess a julienne. It would be a chefy term for it, but I just want to get it nice and thin like that.
Okay.
And then for the last minute of my pasta, I'm going to put them right in the pot, and that's going to soften them up just a little bit. So that you're not like chewing on a leathery tomato. Nobody wants that. So I'm just gonna. Well, I mean, as per your request, let's. Oh, we got a bounce. That bounced.
Take two.
Take two. Oh, not quite there yet. Not quite. This is the chefy impulse of me. I want to pick it up off the floor right now, but we'll clean it later. We promise. This is just for TV.
Are we going to be like down to 1.5 portions by the time we get them stuck to the wall?
Probably.
Okay, that's
Probably.
all right.
Anyway, my instinct is telling me this pasta's ready to go.
Awesome.
So I've done a little setup here just to illustrate for the folks at home the starchy goodness that's in this pasta water.
Do I need to hold anything down?
Actually, let's just do that just in case.
Just in case.
I promise I will not get you with the steam.
All right.
Just hold that steady. There we go.
Yeah.
Straining off our pasta and everything. Got a few pieces left in the pot here, so I'm just going to take those out.
Yep.
And put them right in there. So now we've got our pasta. We got all this. Let's just put this over here for a sec.
I always put it back in the pot just to kind of.
Well, we will.
Oh.
We will. It's going to be the last thing we do. So I'm just going to. Well, actually, what we want to do right now.
I'm learning the real way tonight.
So if everybody at home can see this starchy water right here, this is gold for making a pasta sauce. So I'm going to take just about a cup of it here and pour it in this little mug. And I'll put everything else to the side. And that starch is actually going to help bind a very loose sauce together in the pot. So
Okay.
I'm going to start this up here.
So this pasta sauce or water is way darker than mine usually is. Is that because of the type of spaghetti that you
I actually think the
use, or-
sun-dried tomato changed the color just a
right.
little bit.
Okay.
That would probably be
That's
the
fine.
influencer in that case.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's start it off. I'm just going to grab a spoon here. We've got our pan hot. So like I said, this is like I'm coming home from work. Need to make this quick. Got the pot is already hot because the water was in there,
Yeah.
so there's no extra time needed here.
I love reusing the same pot.
Oh, it's so good. It saves on the
It
dishes.
is.
So
It is.
I'm going to go, that's a generous tablespoon of bacon fat right there. And then I'm also going to go with a tablespoon of butter. And I want to use the butter because this is sort of integral to the sauce we're going to make.
Okay.
Because it needs the milk solids to work with the starch, to work with the Parmesan cheese, to sort of
Okay.
make a silky sauce without any cream or many other ingredients except for the pasta water and the cheese.
So the bacon fat alone won't do that. You need both.
Exactly.
And the bacon fat is obviously for the flavor.
Exactly. You can't beat the flavor of bacon. I mean,
Amazing.
try.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. So I'm just going to put the kale right in here because it's a heartier green. It'll probably need.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, you hear that? That's for the microphone, Adam. Hey, I just wanted to check in. How are the folks at home doing there?
So doing great. Louise is here, and she said,
Hi, Louise.
when I was little, my mom walked in on me throwing pasta against the microwave, and she yelled.
Well, the microwave's easier to wipe off than the wall. I mean, that's.
Yeah, your mom just didn't have an appreciation of your creative kitchen instincts. You know, that's okay.
Exactly. So, yeah, this is getting nice and bright green already just from being in the pot.
Love that.
I mean, one advantage of having wilted kale in your fridge is a lot of the water's come out of it
Yeah.
already. So that's actually a lot of cooking is getting the water out of stuff.
So if I don't have wilted kale, because
Yes.
I won't, what else can I put in place of that?
This is perfect with arugula, with spinach.
Okay.
And you
Spinach
can,
I might have.
yeah, spinach would be great.
Yeah.
Or like peas, like Plan A. That would have been that would have been perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
And actually, do you like spicy food?
I like everything.
Perfect.
Spicy food, definitely.
All right. Why don't you meter out the amount of chili flake you want to put in the pot?
Really?
Yep. And you can.
You're gonna leave that up to me?
Well, I'm watching. Let's see.
Is
Yeah,
that
that's
too
good.
much?
No, that's good. That's good. Picante. That's what they say.
Oh.
Nice. So we got our kale in there, which is already bright green and gorgeous. And do you smell that nuttiness?
Not yet. Wait.
There you go. Let's waft.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So kale has really nutty properties. So that's
Yeah.
why you often see it substituted in a pesto instead of basil or
Okay.
arugula.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
So a little bit of heat really brings that out, really promotes that.
Okay.
How about
Garlic.
yeah,
We forgot the garlic.
we forgot. Well, we didn't forget it. We were just gonna.
Now,
add
would
it
that
real
normally
quick.
go in with the? When would that normally go in? Right
I'd
now?
rather put it right now. Is a great time. All we need is the garlic to cook for about a minute because the
Okay.
heat's really high here.
Okay.
So it's actually going to work out really well for us. So,
Okay.
if you don't mind, I'm just going to dive right in
Yes,
with
you
the
go for it.
the workhorse.
So
There we go.
I heard that you never want to put garlic in with just grease, like oil or butter, because it'll burn too quickly. Is that true?
It's very important to watch your heat level when,
Yeah.
like, your pan heat when you're using garlic.
And it gets really bitter.
It does.
when it's-
If it gets golden brown, very hard to bring back your dish
Yeah.
from that.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've got
So
to
it's
be.
the perfect time to add it.
It's the perfect time to add it. You just want it to tenderize a little bit, and actually, this is where the pasta water will come into play. I'm going to fry this for 30 seconds, and
Okay.
then when the garlic is right, I want to halt that cooking, and the pasta water is going to do that.
So we have about 24 seconds. Is there like the 24-second?
There is somebody at
dance?
home right now. Yeah, right. There's somebody at home right now with a stopwatch, and every timing I've given tonight is off by at least a minute. But that's the fun. Adam will just edit. We can't edit. What? Oh.
If
Oh.
your 30 seconds is off by a minute, does that mean the garlic burned or? Wait,
There we go. A little bit of that pasta water going in. Oh yeah. Perfect. So yeah, we're good, and you can smell it. That's how I always know with garlic how far I've gone. I was just on the edge. I saw one little caramelized piece in there, and that's good. The pan heat was good enough. I'm
So
gonna.
that evaporated pretty much right away.
It did because the pan is so hot. But what didn't evaporate is all the starch from the pasta.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add that, and then all our Parmesan cheese is going in here.
Yeah.
And actually, Tina, if you could come over here and
Yeah.
stir that pot like
sure.
mad.
Stir like mad.
Stir like mad.
I can do that.
And what I'm going to do is add in another tablespoon of cold butter.
Sorry, and
That's good.
Chef Andrew, can you say that again? I just was a
Stir
little
like
distracted
mad.
by the camera.
Oh yeah, he's all over the place. That cameraman.
Stir like
all
mad.
over.
Okay, this smells amazing.
Oh,
I don't
so
know
good.
if I'm stirring right, but boy,
Yeah,
oh boy,
there's no wrong way to stir.
that is good stuff.
All right, there we go. So that's another tablespoon of butter I put in, and
right.
that butter was cold.
Okay.
Reason being, cold butter in a situation like this
Yeah.
can emulsify and bring together a sauce, especially with a little bit of starch.
Okay.
And that Parmesan cheese we threw in. So what I'm looking for right now is that little bit of water to evaporate, and then we're
Okay.
just going to toss our pasta in, and our bacon bits are going in right now because they just need to
Awesome.
warm through because that's
Yep.
just been
They're
that's
cooked
just 2
already.
slices of bacon.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good.
So wait, there's one thing. There's a mystery here. I'm a
Oh,
little
yes.
confused about why anybody has 2 slices of bacon left over in their fridge. But really, do you really have
Well-
left over, or did you just?
It was okay. So it's
did
not
you
like
just fry that bacon?
I stole it from tomorrow's prep. I'm really sorry, Jordan, but I used some of your bacon.
I
The
was going to
secret's
say
out.
I've never heard of that. Like I have a 12-year-old who will eat all the bacon.
Yeah, well, it's honestly, I think it's the chef instinct to me. There's always a bit of a good chef's a bit of a hoarder as well,
Oh,
because you
okay.
want to you keep your own stash of towels, you have your own roll of masking tape, you got your own nice Sharpie just hiding in the wings, all the good stuff.
Is that for autographs? Chef?
No, it's for prep lists. We're nowhere near autographs. Autographs are free. All right, so pasta going in the pot with
Okay.
the sun-dried tomatoes. Boom. I said, there we go.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Get out of here. Let's go.
All right.
All right.
Keep
so
stirring.
Keep stirring, and actually, let's get the old tongs
Okay.
out because I want to dig in and toss the pasta and all that good stuff. See, Adam, I don't know if everybody can see here, but so I'm just breaking up, tossing the pasta in this very light butter and parm sauce that we have in the pan. So the starch that was in the pasta water is bringing that together, lightly coating the noodles, and then we've got these sun-dried tomatoes, which we just blanched lightly. We have all this nice kale and garlic, and that parm right in there. And our pasta is done. We just need to
What
plate it
about
up
the
now.
pepper?
Well, I made a strategic choice.
Okay.
I was like, do we go with pepper or do we go with chili flakes? So if you said you didn't like spicy, we would have gone with the old pepper.
I
but
would have gone with both.
You like? Well, we'll save it
we're
for the,
good, we're
let's save it
good.
for the garnish. We can garnish with it. It'll be great. So I'm gonna turn this off right now. Let's clear the way because we are gonna plate up some food. And this is for you. We are gonna make this
no.
very chefy, very
Okay,
fancy.
Okay.
And I'll actually give a little tip for how to plate
Okay.
pasta at home.
Oh,
If you want to elevate your pasta plating game,
Yeah.
make sure you mix up your ingredients with your, you get a nice,
Noodles.
decent fix, and then give it a twist
Yeah.
when you're pulling it out. So like this, and then when you put it down, give it a twist when you're putting it down as well, and then it centers it and keeps it all in one spot. So you
I've seen this on the Food Network.
can exactly. It's a good trick.
I've never done it though.
Well,
so,
do you want to try it on yours?
Yeah, I do.
All right,
I do wanna try
I'll bring the
it.
pot around.
Oh wow.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Right.
Oh, I can't wait to
Grab
eat this.
You got this. You got this.
The grab and twist. You got
The
it.
grab and twist. Oh boy, and the drip. I did the drip too. Do you have to kind of like?
Oh, and then
feel
let
like
go
I'm
with
building
commitment. There we
something.
go. Exactly. You're building a tower of
good.
flavor.
I didn't want to leave any on the tongs.
Oh, that's
that
perfect.
makes me sad.
Right? You get it. And we'll put a little extra garnishy stuff on top. Let's get a
Nice.
little extra sun-dried tomato for you.
And what's this for?
That is for our Parmesan cheese, our finishing touch. So
Okay.
go right about here, give it a
Yep.
good grate, and it's going to
Do
snow
I do
parm.
it this way? Is this the right angle?
You can do it that way, you can do it that way, you can do it that That's the right angle. Basically, yeah, you want to hold it so it's falling out of here, so
Okay. Yeah,
keep that level
okay.
to
Thank
where
you.
you're going. Awesome.
It's good to tell me these things just in case.
Mm.
Should I do more than that? Oh, do you know what else I notice they do in restaurants?
What's
they
that?
do this thing.
Yes, because
I'm
you
gonna
always
get
have a little bit
more.
left on the. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, do you want more?
Oh yeah, a little bit more. Come on, bring it. We're not shy here. This is in the back of my fridge. It's good cheese.
I
have a
feel
fork
like you
for
should have the big one, or unless you really love the beautiful.
Oh,
one you
I'll
made.
take the big one. I got 2 forks here. Can you tell I'm ready? I'm
Let's
hungry.
do this.
All right.
But I haven't asked you any questions yet.
Yeah, now it's question
All
time.
right,
Well,
so-
why don't I earn my bite? You try yours, and then I can't eat mine until you ask me a question.
Well, I am gonna eat this after I ask the question, just because
Oh, okay.
that would be smarter.
Aha, yeah, true.
All right, so this was a great.
Oh,
Interesting.
just had a little pranks with the lights. That was fun.
This is a great meal to make. You know, when you just start pulling things out of the fridge
Totally.
and you need to make something quick
Yep.
for the family. So, what are your other go-tos?
Other go-tos. I really love. I mean, I like having a bag of ground beef in the freezer because I love tacos. Not like go to Mexico like authentic tacos. I'm talking Tex-Mex, sour cream, salsa, a little bit of cheddar cheese. So I always have a taco kit lying around, something like that. But I love to use my cast iron pan at home too. So
Okay.
often it's like a one skillet meal or a one pot meal. I really like to do. One of my favorite things I've been playing around with is sort of doing a sausage and kimchi dish with rice in a cast iron. So basically you put all your ingredients in a pan, fry it up, and then put it in the oven for 25 minutes with a little bit of foil on top.
Wow.
And just a really nice...
Do you actually make the kimchi, or do you just?
I have made it before, but I don't have... You almost need a dedicated fridge if you want to make kimchi at home. Otherwise, your significant other will not go to the fridge very often. It's very stinky.
You don't want that
Don't want
to
that.
escape from the fridge
No.
until you're ready to eat it.
Exactly. All right, how was
Yeah,
your
you
bite,
go for
and
it.
have I
oh
earned
my
my
gosh, so good. Let's have a moment of silence while we eat.
bite? Talk amongst yourselves.
So, while you're taking your bite, and you can talk about this once you're finished there. There's no hurry. But I was also looking at the cooking classes that Kitchen Door offers,
Yes.
and honestly, it's something you have to budget, right? Because it's not like, here, drop $20 and do. It is a big deal. It's
Totally.
like many courses. You make the food, you eat the food. It is a really involved kind of almost like a date night or big deal.
Absolutely. Well, one thing we were looking at when we were coming up with the cooking classes is we wanted them to be a spectrum.
Right.
So we're starting on the low end with something we call Demo and Dine,
Yeah.
where for $65, $70 you come in and I cook a meal in front of you, and then you get samples of every course, a little sample wine pairing usually, and I'm going to do one called Home and Away. So it's Nova Scotia ingredients with international or global inspiration. So you can come on in, just like going out for dinner, only you're
It
coming
is
in
like
here,
that,
and
yeah.
it's a new form of dinner theater.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
And then right up to, we have our series class, which is, you've got to commit to 5 classes, and it's and you get a special rate for it, but basically it's our version of mini cooking school with a twist. So we're
I'm
going
going to eat while you're talking. Don't be
yeah,
alarmed.
please. I could go on about this a lot because I've been working on this a lot. But then we also have, sort of in the middle, we have our 2 other ones called Make and Take. So you can come in by yourself and make one's called Casserole Nouveau. So we're actually you come in and you make 4 different casseroles, all with a Kitchen Door modern spin, and then you can feed your family over the next month or so. Every Saturday night, pull one of these out of the freezer, and it's what you made in class. We're going to do a sausage making class. We're going to do a pasta making class. So we're really trying to appeal to different levels of skill and appeal.
I love that.
Awesome.
Here's a really crucial question.
Bring it up.
If you happen to live with someone where you both love food and you both enjoy cooking, and you absolutely are unable to share the kitchen space cooking together successfully, like every time you go to open a door or get what you need, that person's body is in the way.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Says to no one.
Is this like an alternative to cooking at home together? You could actually come here where it's a huge, big room, and
Not only is it a great place to come and cook together,
Yeah.
it's a great place to learn the skills how to cook together.
Oh. I guess that's a thing.
It's a thing. If you want it to be, or each come take a separate class and then show each other what you made.
Yeah, that might be the better way.
Right there you go. That's an option. That's an option.
So, how many different types of cuisines do you cover in your? I know you have different levels and
Yeah.
styles of.
We're
cooking classes,
we're
but-
taking a little trip around the world.
Okay.
We've got We've got an Indian curry class, which was very popular on Blue Water Road. So we have version 2.0 of that class coming out.
Is that sold out yet? Because I looked at that one.
I don't think it is yet.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
now's your time.
Yep.
We're doing
It
a
is.
street food, a Mexican street food class. We're going to do a food of Thailand class. And we're also doing ones that are sort of inspired by some of my favorite chefs. So we've got David Chang, who's got a great empire with Momofuku, the Momofuku chain of restaurants. He's got places in New York, Washington D.C.,
I
Sydney,
haven't
Australia.
heard of this.
Oh yeah.
He's not on the Food Network.
Oh yes, he's on the Food Network. He's on Netflix. He's on the Food Network
What's his name
2.0.
again?
David Chang.
And what am I looking for on Netflix?
You're looking for Ugly Delicious. Ugly Delicious is great.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm sure a bunch of you have seen
I'm
Ugly
all over it
Delicious,
now.
and it makes you so hungry, it's ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very good. We're also doing another one based on Jamie Oliver because everybody loves the approachability of his style and
Yes.
Italian food.
Yeah.
And then we're also, another one I'm excited about is Yotam Ottolenghi, who's this Israeli guy who lives in London, who's got several restaurants, and he does really healthy, really seasonal Mediterranean food.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so really fun, approachable stuff. You can find these cookbooks around, but it's one of these things. Maybe you're daunted by the 200 pages in this cookbook. Come to the class, see what our favorites are, and try it at home.
That's always better. Like, cookbooks are great, and I have a bunch of them, and every once in a while I'll, like, bravely crack one open and then, resolutely shut it again. But I love to watch someone else cooking who knows what they're doing, and they have the whole process figured out, and all the shortcuts, and the things that don't matter as much, and the things that are really important.
Yeah.
And you can kind of, make sure your food turns out the first time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is really important.
Well, it's all about getting those basics right, and then you
Yeah.
can build on those basics. And one thing I love about watching, like Gordon Ramsay clips, are everywhere on the internet. Everybody loves Gordon, loves or hates Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
But he's got such momentum in the
Yes.
kitchen, and it's so fun to watch because he's showing you how to bounce around and how
Yeah,
to.
it looks like he's gonna take off.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's fun to channel that energy in the kitchen because you've got 10 seconds here. So what are you going to do with that 10 seconds? You fill that gap with something over here, and then you're always bouncing around. So that's really fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I was thinking that for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to do a walking tour. This is
Oh,
what
yeah.
you'll see.
Cool.
The mic's there. This is what you'll see. So you can kind of explain. You guys can ask any questions you have to us.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay, so
Well, I'm gonna hand it over to Chef Andrew because this is his working space.
Awesome. So Adam's doing his walkthrough right now. This is a perfect opportunity for me to have a little bite of pasta, but he's looking right now at our pastry section where our pastry team cranks out some delicious treats. Coming along right here now is, there we go. So we got our big mixer in the corner. I dare anybody to find a blue Hobart mixer quite like that. There's our ovens and our hotline. Fun fact, that table in front of you is actually made of old bowling lanes.
Oh wow, are you kidding me?
It's so cool. And one of the things I noticed with Kitchen Door when I started here is the pride they took in these tables because they're oiling them. We gave them all a new surface when we had them in during the move.
Yeah.
Super fun. And so now we're walking right down. This is our second hood. So we have 2 hoods. Anybody in the restaurant industry knows how important good ventilation is. Look at it. It's gorgeous. So that's our spice rack right there, which needs a little bit of work, but we'll deal with that. To the left, that's the dish pit right there. So Adam he's taking the full tour through the dish pit. This dishwasher is crazy cool. It's actually a
beast.
conveyor belt. It has its own separate ventilation. We can have 3 teams coming back from 3 different events, and all their dishes will get processed in the hour. It's kind of amazing. And the whole space Patty had designed by a professional kitchen designer. So the flow and everything. So, the hallway Adam's looking at right now is where all our dirty dishes would come in. And then they'd cut, and then Adam, if you want to spin around, they'd just go right to the, you can't hear me.
It's like you can.
Yeah, right. And so he's walking through the dish pit now. That's our that's our storage. This is our coffee area. Going into the office area.
Yeah.
Everybody has a desk now. It's really awesome. And so here's our walk-in fridges. So these are that's our old veg fridge from Blue Water Road.
Right.
And then to the left of that is our old freezer from Blue Water Road, which both of those are about a fifth the size of the new unit, which is right here coming up. So we have 60 feet of fridge and freezer space that is brand new. Adam, don't go through that fridge. Don't do it. You're going to lose your signal. Don't do it. Get out of the fridge, Adam.
The battery will die.
Good. So Adam's out of the fridge now, and this is the shot from the warehouse down to the kitchen. This is our warehouse. So we got all our stuff ready to go, load up in our catering trucks. ready to head out. That's our another extra freezer there. You can see the team's been hard at work. If you saw us last week, there's been big changes.
And you're still really in the throes of unpacking everything and setting everything up.
Absolutely. Oh, with those coffee machines, we can, yeah, right? Those are awesome. We can brew, oh my God, what is it, Ginger? 24 gallons of coffee?
Hi?
24 gallons of coffee? Something crazy?
It does. Each one is 100 cups. We do 200 cups in 7 minutes.
We can brew 200 cups in 7 minutes. So if you're like really hard up on coffee and you need it an hour, maybe we can help you out. Yeah. So now, where are you, Adam? Oh my God, he's right there.
There he is.
Just so you
Welcome
can
back.
tell, I couldn't hear anything.
We were in sync. You know what's amazing is, and I said this to Adam when I got here because my jaw dropped open. I watched the live walkthrough weeks ago, and so I had a sense of the new space, but it's massive in here.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't really get the height when you see it on camera, and then when you walk in, it's big. It's big, but it's so full of potential.
Yeah, it is. And I'm excited. I'm definitely signing Steve and I up for some kind of cooking class. I'm not sure which one. I'll probably consult him, of course.
Of course.
But we both love pretty much everything.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Well, let me know. We can
All of
talk.
those sound great.
We'll talk it through.
Yeah. All right.
I'm excited about this.
I mean, you know what?
Adam has his iPad on one of our kitchen trolleys right now, and it is the greatest thing that has ever happened to him.
And what you can't see is the microphone set up on a stack of milk crates because,
that is making it work. That's what that is.
Making it work.
Making it work.
It's so awesome here. And I'm distracted because all I can think about is the spaghetti.
I know, I've been talking too much. I want to eat my spaghetti.
Go for it.
So you have any hard-hitting questions? Any final questions?
I have no hard-hitting questions.
What?
So here's the thing, though. I'm amazed that Andrew literally walked in the door, 30, 40 minutes before we started, like rushing here from an event, and just like a house on fire, set everything up, grabbed stuff out of the fridge, came up with a plan exactly like we do when we get home from work and we have to come up with something for dinner really quickly. And okay, so I'm sorry that I thought this, but for a second I thought, well, spaghetti. Like, it'll probably be fine because it's spaghetti, but this is amazing.
Awesome.
It is so good.
Well, this is one of these things. Spaghetti, we all have this, I remember growing up in Pictou, like everybody's mom but mine for some reason had the same spaghetti sauce recipe and it included tomato soup for some reason. If you're using that recipe at home and you like it, that's fine, but it's not exactly the thing. So I love simple pasta dishes like this. Jamie Oliver kind of opened my eyes to it, but it's the perfect kind of pantry clearing thing that you like it, and you can see all the noodles. It's not buried in sauce. It's got a lot of flavor. It's actually kind of healthy. Yeah. And you can do it really quick, and it uses up all that wilted kale. So.
And I now have to buy wilted kale and sun-dried tomatoes. Yeah. Well, I'll buy it fresh and let it wilt.
You can wilt it yourself. That's a great thing.
All right, so I've never bought this, but I know it's the way to go. So
and a little bit goes a long way with Parmesan cheese. Okay. That's what's so good about it. Like you could, and
so
it keeps very well in the
what about the big giant Costco one in a shaker?
That is certainly an option. That is something you can use.
Tell us what you really think.
But where do I get
can't hide my face, Adam. It's delicious.
But if I want to upgrade and buy that, where do I get it?
Sobeys and Superstore both have them now. I've seen them it's at the Italian market. And actually, one thing I tell people, and one thing I look for myself, is you don't need the prime cut of Parmesan cheese. You can actually get it, like they'd sell a piece like this at the Superstore for about half the price because it has the rind as well as this perfectly good cheese. Okay. Now this rind, I like to show people in our cooking classes sometimes, you can make a Parmesan cheese stock very easily to make like a risotto or make or make like a polenta with, or throw a piece in a minestrone soup, and it just adds a really deep, rich, cheesy umami flavor to the whole thing.
Okay.
Super good.
Wow, I'm learning all these things.
It's a big download.
It is. I feel a little overwhelmed in a really good way.
Awesome. And you will too at one of our classes at Kitchen Doors.
Yeah. No, seriously. So when is the first one though? Because you're still getting set up.
We're getting set up. So the focus of March is getting a retail space ready to go, and then April, this studio space is ready to go. So we're looking first week in April. We got a class schedule up on Facebook and on our website, but we are hitting the ground running in April.
And how many people
We can fit 18 to 24 people very easily in here. So yeah. Oh, and he turned the cart around. It's so good, Adam.
Up to 40 depending on the class.
And what's that?
Up to 40 depending
Up to
on your
40
class
depending on the
size.
class.
And
There we go.
website's right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
which classes can take
So
40
like
people?
the demo and Dine, for instance, where everybody's going to be sitting down in front, you know, it's more of an audience situation.
So you have to cook for 40.
Yeah, exactly. Which
Okay.
I mean, that's a light night at the restaurant if you're asking me. That's fine. But yeah, it's great. We've got a great staff here that'll be backing us up. Jordan has been doing classes with me throughout the fall and throughout the summer, so he's going to be in here.
Okay.
And we're going to train up a few other people to sort of be part of the studio as well. So it's really exciting to see where we can take it.
Very cool. So when we come to a class, what do we walk away with? Do we get a recipe to take
You
with
get
us?
you get basically a mini cookbook.
Yeah.
So
Really?
yeah. So imagine we'll come to one of these classes once every 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, you've got at least 12 to 15 recipes that can be staples for you. That will be really good. Show some new techniques, new cuisines. So yeah, it's yeah.
And if you forget how to do stuff, you just come on Wednesday nights to the Kitchen Door page. You watch Chit Chat Job and you go, hey,
Exactly.
Chef Andrew, remember that cooking class? I forget how to do this. And you'll be like, oh yeah, I
I
remember
gotcha.
you. I remember you exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
All right.
So, I know you're supposed to. You flipped the script. It was going to all be about Kitchen Door and Andrew, but we're here. You got your website's on the screen right now.
Okay.
Anything going on? You want to say what you do?
There's nothing going on except business as usual. The main thing going on with me is, this week, I'm really glad that you asked me to come in because it's been kind of a rough week here in town with, especially with the news yesterday morning in Spryfield. And I know a lot of us feel like we don't really even know what to do with that news or how to react to something like that. But I think this is, aside from helping, the family, the mom and in question, and the dad in question, I think one of the best things you can do is like have a meal together, have a great conversation, cook together, spend time with people. We all come together around food, and we come together around these simple things in life that are important. And it's been kind of on Twitter, I've been kind of following the conversation, and it's been that kind of a time this week. So it's a great pleasure to be here. It's a great pleasure to talk to someone who's really excited about what you're doing, have some great food, and just, come back down to the simple basics. And, that's not what I do for my business, but that's a big part of what I love about being alive. So
Well,
it's all good.
I mean, your business is communications, and what better way to communicate to somebody you love them than making a simple,
it's so good.
simple, delicious dish.
Food love.
Food love.
It's so good.
First episode with a guest in the new spot.
Tick. Check that box.
Oh, yeah.
Best guest ever.
Well, thank you very much. We're going for the high five.
Oh, yes. Only
Solid.
one? That was like a solid high five. I think we should do an up down.
Oh, yeah. That was risky. I'm glad we attempted
was.
it. We
I
made it
know.
work.
I'm going to eat now.
Yeah, go
Is
for
that bad?
it. I'll talk us out. It's all good. Anything
mhm.
else we need to say to the folks at home, Adam?
We have nothing. I think we're gonna have some guests, some crazy guests coming up.
Yeah.
Our premiere season 3 opener, I believe, is March 6th.
Yeah, March 6th, we're going to have our retail space mini opening and sort of a little staff situation here. So, we're going to have our season 3 opener.
And Tina will be back,
And Tina will
Awesome.
be back for that. And then, oh boy.
Wait, is there going to be music?
obviously.
Listen, guys, when you come here and you're out front in the retail space, it's like a cathedral out there. The sound is amazing. Oh, Adam's taking you out there. The sound is amazing. So I was out there playing my Spotify playlist.
I'm not on.
Oh,
Adam didn't flip the camera.
There we
he's
go.
flipping
That
the
was
camera. So I was out there playing my Spotify playlist and jamming, and I would love to be back here when there's something going on in that space with some live music and some real fun. It is an amazing space. So come on out, check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, it is huge. And we've got some really cool decor ideas, like some upcycled materials that we found as part of the build. So we're really excited to sort of showcase that. And Patty's got her design eye on it.
So where did you
Oh,
get
hi,
this?
Adam.
Oh,
You're being creepy now. Just being creepy.
We're trying to eat here.
Please sign up.
Anyway, everybody, thanks so much for joining us for Chit Chat Shop, episode 70. We're going to be back soon with even more guests, even more food, and even more fun. So thanks again. Thank you, Tina, so much for coming out.
Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome.
Till next time.
Till
right?
next time. Absolutely. Bye, everybody.